Assalamu alaikum wa ahlan wa sahlan bikum. My name is Imtiaz. Welcome back to another lesson. In this lesson, we're going to go through and look at adjectives. So before we look at adjectives, let's have a quick recap. So what is speech? We said speech is the faculty or power of speaking. It's the ability to communicate orally, and it's the ability to express one's thoughts and emotions by sounds, gestures, in the form of sentences. And sentences are formed by a group of words. Now, if we look at the English sentence, we said a sentence is a group of words which makes complete sense. So just having words alone is not enough. We need them to make complete sense. And English sentences can start with a noun. So the house is new, or we can use a proper noun like a name. So Abir is a great teacher. And they can also then start with a pronoun. So she is my sister. Now the core ingredient of any sentence are really two things. Every sentence that we will always have something that we talk about, a subject. And this can be a person, it can be a place, or it can be a thing. And the second thing is what we call a predicate. And this is what is said about the subject. Okay? And the way we express what is said about the subject is through the use of adjectives. So what is an adjective? An adjective, adjectives are words that describe the qualities, the states of being, or quantities of nouns or pronouns. So here we have an old man, then we have a red book, we have a beautiful house. So the old, the red and beautiful are what we call attributes that are used to define a characteristic or something about the noun. So here the old defines the age of the man. Here this one slightly different, is a color. So here it tells what the color is of the book. And this one defines expresses our opinion or the appearance of the house. Okay. And now in English, adjectives, you can see, come directly before the person or thing being described. So here you can see the old comes before the man, the red comes before the book, and beautiful comes before the house. Now here you can see that they're all the old and the red and the beautiful are three different types of adjectives in three different categories. This one defines a sort of age or time, and this one defines a color, and this one defines an appearance. So I guess the question then is, what other categories do we have that we can use adjectives from? So the adjectives that are used to describe nouns can be one of the following. And what we'll do is in the upcoming lessons, I'm going to cover these in English now, but I'll cover these in Arabic. So the first one is appearance. So we could say someone is beautiful, or something is clean, or someone is handsome. The second one is, like we said, the color. So we can use this was a red book, or it's a purple pen, you know. The third one is condition. So we can say something is new, or something is dead, or alive, or expensive. Okay. When it comes to people, we can use adjectives to express our positive feelings. Yeah. So we can say someone is brave, or delightful, or lively. And where we have positive feelings, we can then also use adjectives to express our negative feelings. You know, we say someone's feeling is anxious, or nervous, or troubled. You know. Then we have personality. So we can say someone is aggressive, or ambitious, or cheerful, or wise. Okay. We can also use adjectives to describe about the shapes. So we can say something is curved, or square, or round. And when we talk about shapes, then we also can discuss the different sizes of the shapes. So this refers to both humans and objects. So we can say someone is big or small or large or little, tall or short. Yeah. Then we have sound. You know, we can say something is really loud or is noisy or quiet. Okay. When it comes to food, we can use taste. So we say something is really delicious, or the coffee is really strong, the tea is weak. We can then also use time. So we say that is an ancient house, you know. Fast, someone is really fast, you know. Then we have touch. So here we can say something is clean or dry or wet. Now all of these categories, like I said, we will go through and cover in the upcoming lessons, and we'll do examples of these in Arabic. Now the one thing about adjectives in English do not change based on the gender or the form of the noun. Okay, so if the noun is feminine or is plural, the adjective will not change. So here we have a green apple, so we're talking about one apple. And if we were to talk about multiple apples, you can see that the adjective stays the same. Okay, even though the noun has now become plural, so apple and apples. Okay, and there are three main types of adjectives. The first one is what we call an attributive adjective, and this describes a characteristic or attribute of the noun or pronoun. And we saw the example of this earlier on. So the old man. So here the adjective appears in the attribute adjective. The adjective appears beside or before the noun. The second type is what we call a predicative adjective. And what this does is either modifies, or I would say completes, the sentence. So if we said the man is, so here it says the man is old, but if we were to take the old away, the sentence would not be complete. So the man is what? And you need to put something to finish the sentence off, and this is called a predicative adjective. And you can notice that the adjective does not appear straight after the noun. It appears after a linking verb. So here the is the linking verb. Okay. And the last type is what we call a post-positive adjective. Here the adjective comes after the noun or pronoun. So the Attorney General. Okay. This one, the attributive adjective, when you see it in this format, we normally refer to it as a noun adjective phrase. And where the adjective is used in a predicate form, it's called an equational sentence. So what we'll do is we'll have a quick test of just to make sure that you've got an understanding of the different types of adjectives. What I want you to do is correctly identify each type of adjective based on what we've just covered. And so I'll give you a couple of seconds before I tell you the answer. Okay, so the first one is the brown dog is sitting. Okay, so here we can see that the adjective comes directly before the noun. Okay, so this is an attributive adjective. The next one, the road ahead is dangerous. So here we're talking about the road being dangerous. And you can see there's a linking verb. So this is a predicative adjective. Next one is I feel ill. So I is the pronoun, and the condition being defined is ill, and it's done it via a linking verb. I feel ill. So this is a predicative adjective. Next one is children grow older every day. Sorry. So here we're talking about children becoming older. So this is a time adjective. So again, done it via a linking verb. So this is a predicative adjective. Next one, she tells a marvelous tale. Okay, so here we can see tale is what we're talking about, and it's marvelous. So, and it comes before the noun. So this is an an attributive adjective. And the next one is my first impression was wrong. So here they're talking about an impression being wrong, and again it's done via a linking verb. So this is a predicative adjective. So I hope you got the understanding of what the different types are. The ones we will really cover in the upcoming lessons are attributive and predicative. So let's look at the Arabic sentence. Arabic sentences. So Arabic sentences are of two types, and the type of sentence is determined by the first word in the sentence. So Arabic sentences can start either with a verb, which is called fi'l, fi'lun. They can start with a noun, which is called an ism, or they can start with a pronoun, which is called damir. Okay, so fi'l, ism, or damir. Where the sentences start with a verb, they're called verbal sentences, and in Arabic they're called al-jumlatul fi'liya. Okay, and where the sentences start with a noun or a pronoun, they're called a nominal sentence, and in Arabic it's called al-jumlatul ismiya. Okay, verbal sentences will cover when we start to do the verbs, and in this lesson, and upcoming lessons, we're going to cover the nominal sentences. So Arabic nominal sentences will generally have two parts. The first part will always be the subject or topic. It's the one being described that comes first, and this can be a person, this can be a place, or this can be a thing, and it's normally a noun or a pronoun. And the second is the description or comment, the piece of information that is expresses what is said about the subject. And this normally is an adjective. So like English, Arabic adjectives are used in two forms. They're used as an attribute. So here we've got the old man. Okay, or they're used as a predicate, which is the man is old. So here you can see that it's using a linking verb. Okay, this is why I covered the adjectives in English earlier on. Okay, just so when you come to do this, it'll help. Okay, so where the adjective is used as an attribute, adjective is called Sifa, and the noun is called Mausoof. So here it's called Mausoof, Sifa, adjective, noun, phrase. Okay, and where the adjective is used as a predicate is called Khabar, and the noun is called Mubtada, or the subject is called Mubtada. So Mubtada, Khabar. Okay, which is unlike an equational sentence. When we do more on Idafa, we will cover more about this. Okay, so when the adjective is used as an attribute, it agrees with the noun in gender, in number, in definiteness, so whether it's definite or indefinite, and also in case. And when it's used as a predicate, it agrees with the noun in gender and number, but not in definiteness or case. Okay, so if we look at an example, so here we're saying the big house. So the word is al-baytu al-kabiru. Now, because the word bayt is begins with al, that means it's definite and ends with a dhamma. So al-baytu. Now, because the noun uses the is definite, that means that the adjective must also match when used as an attribute. So al-baytu al-kabiru. Okay, when it's used as a predicate, so the house is big, you will say al-baytu, but here you can see that where the noun is definite, the adjective is not. It's now indefinite, kabirun. Okay, so the absence of al on the adjective indicates that the adjective is used as a predicate. Okay, So here in this one, whatever the noun is, the adjective will follow suit, and here it'll only do it for the first two. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go through and look at the Mausoof and Sifa adjective noun phrase first, and then we'll come back and look at the predicate. So an adjective in Arabic is called Sifa, or adjectives in plural is called Sifat. And unlike English, where the adjective comes before the noun, the adjectives in Arabic always come after the noun. So here, if we look at Kitab, which is book, and then Ahmar, so we're going to say a red book. So you can see that in English, the adjective comes before the noun. In Arabic, it will be the other way around. So really what we're saying is we're going to say book, red. So Kitab comes first, and then we say Ahmar. So Kitab Ahmar. So a red book. Look at another one. So we've got Bait, which is house, and then Kabir. So when we say a big house, we will say, do you want to try it? Yeah, Bait, and then Kabir. Yeah, Bait Kabir. Okay, next one. We have Walad, which is boy, and Tawil, which is tall. So we're going to say a tall boy would be Walad Tawil. Walad Tawil. Okay, so that is the thing you must remember about adjectives in Arabic, that the adjective always comes after the noun. Now, one thing we said was in a Mausoof Sifa, there were 4 rules that you have to follow. The adjective has to agree with the noun. So what I'll do now is go through the 4 rules. The first one, rule number 1, is that the adjective must agree with the noun in gender. So if the noun is feminine, then the adjective is also feminine. And if the noun is masculine, then the adjective is also masculine. So if we look at this word here, talib, which is student, and then صغير, which is small or young. Okay, when we talk about a young student male, what we need to say again is we're going to say a young student. So here we're going to say طالب and then صغير, because they're both masculine. Yeah, طالب صغير. Now if we do the example with the female, so we say a young student female. Now what we need to do is because this is masculine, we need to first convert this into feminine, and the way we do that is by adding a ta marbuta at the end. So we say طالبة, and then we'll say, because the noun has the ta marbuta, we also then need to add it to the adjective. So here it'll be طالبة صغيرة. Okay, طالب صغير, طالبة صغيرة. Okay, let's have a look at another example. So we've got مدرس, which is a teacher, and then we have مشغول, which is busy. So when we say a busy teacher male, we'll say مدرس مشغول. مدرس مشغول. And when we say a busy teacher female, again we have to first convert this into a feminine word. So it becomes مدرسة, and then we'll do the same, because this ends with ta marbuta, we need to make sure that this ends with ta marbuta too. So it'll become مدرسة مشغولة. Next one, we got kitab, which is a book. Then we got haqiba, which is a feminine word, a bag. Then we have thaqil. Okay, so if we say a heavy book, we will say kitabun thaqilun. Kitabun thaqilun. And then when we say a heavy bag, so here we don't need to convert this because it's already a feminine word. So we'll say haqibatun. But the adjective doesn't have end with ta marbuta, so we need to add it here. So it'll be haqibatun thaqilatun. So kitabun thaqilun, haqibatun thaqilatun. Okay. One more. Let's have a look. So here we've got Bait, which is a house. Then we have Shaqqa, which is apartment, and Jadid, which is new. Okay. So when we say a new house, we will say, so we're saying house new. So it's Baytun and Jadidun. So Baytun, Jadidun. We say a new apartment, we'll say Shaqqatun, and that's right, we add a ta marbuta here, so it will become Jadidatun, Shaqqatun, Jadidatun. Okay, Baytun, Jadidun, Shaqqatun, Jadidatun. Now there are some feminine nouns that do not end with ta marbuta. So here we've got Ibn, which is son, and Bint, which is daughter. Okay, so this refers to a female. And then we've got Jamilun, which is beautiful. So when we say a beautiful son, we'll say Ibnun Jamilun. Ibnun Jamilun. Okay. When we say a beautiful daughter, we will say Bintun, because it's already a feminine word. But now we need to also then add a ta marbuta to the feminine adjective. So Bintun Jamilatun. So Ibnun Jamilun, Bintun Jamilatun. Okay. So I'll tell you what we'll do now is go through, have a little practice of some words. We'll learn some words first, and then we'll go through and practice. So the first word is Kalilun, which is blunt. Hadun, which is sharp. Dayiqun, which is narrow. Wasi'un, which is wide. Mujtahidun, which is hardworking or diligent. And then Dhakiyun, which is intelligent. Then we have Nadhifun, which is clean. And Jamilun, which is beautiful. So Kalilun, Hadun, Dayiqun, Wasi'un, Mujtahidun, Dhakiyun, Nadhifun, Jamilun. Okay, so here we go. Right, so what we're going to do now is go through, and if you didn't write the adjectives down, if you go back and just write those down, and what I want you to do is add the adjective to all these examples. Okay, so I'll give you a couple of seconds to do this first, and then I will give you the answer. Okay, so first one is a clean office. So here we're saying Maktabun, and the word for clean is Nadhif. So Maktabun Nadhifun. Next one is a beautiful garden. So garden is Hadiqatun, and beautiful was Jamil. So because this ends with ta marbuta, so does the other one. So Hadiqatun Jamilatun. Hadiqatun Jamilatun. Next one is a narrow road. So we said narrow was dayiq. So tariqun dayiqun. Tariqun dayiqun, which is a narrow road. A blunt pencil. So pencil is qalam, and blunt was kalil. Yeah. So qalamun kalilun. Qalamun kalilun. Next one is shafratun, which is blade. Shafratun, and then we said sharp was hadun. So again, because this is a feminine word, we need to end the word with the adjective with the ta marbuta. So shafratun hadadun. Okay. Next one is ghurfa, which is room. Ghurfatun. Wide we said was wasi'a. So ghurfatun wasi'atun. Yeah. Shafratun hadatun. Ghurfatun wasi'atun. Okay. Next one. So a hardworking colleague. So colleague is zamil, zamil. So we said hardworking was mujtahid. Yeah? Zamilun mujtahidun. Zamilun mujtahidun. Next one, if we say intelligent student, so we said student is taliba, yeah, a female student. Talib is male, so female is taliba, talibatun, and then we said intelligent was dhakiyun, yeah, so talibatun dhakiyatun. Okay, so that is the words. So then there are a few adjectives to which you cannot add ta marbuta, okay, to make them feminine. And the most important of these adjectives describing are the primary colors. So here, when we look at the primary colors, we've got mudhakkar, which is masculine, and muannath, which is feminine. So what we'll do is we'll go through and show you what the differences are for the colors when it's masculine and feminine. So black is aswad, and when you make a color feminine, what happens is the alif comes to the end. So aswad becomes sauda. Aswad, sauda. Red is ahmar, so it becomes hamra'a. Ahmar, hamra'a. Next one is yellow, which is asfar, will become safra. Yeah, asfar, safra. Next one is green, which is akhdar, becomes khadra. And blue is azraq, will become zarqa'a. Then we have white, which is abyad, will become bayda'a. Okay, aswad, sauda, ahmar, hamra, asfar, safra, akhdar, khadra, azraq, zarqa, abyad, bayda. Okay, so these are colors, and we'll cover some of the other colors in the future lessons. So there are a few adjectives which you can have add the time of which, like we said, were the colors. So let's practice with some of these. So we've got kitab, and we've got sayyara, which is car, and we've got akhdar. So we'll say a green book, and so it'll be kitabun akhdarun. Yeah, kitabun akhdarun, because the book, that is masculine, so we leave it as in the same state. Okay, next one is a green car. So here we will say sayyaratun, because it's an ends with ta marbuta. So here we need to use the feminine word for green, which was sayyaratun khadra'u. Sayyaratun khadra'u. Okay, let's do another one. So we got qalam, which is a pen, zahra, which is flower, and then we have azraq, which is blue. So we'll say a blue pen is qalamun azraqu. Qalamun azraqu. And then we say a blue flower will be zahratun, and then zarqa'u. Yeah, okay, qalamun azraqu, zahratun, zarqa'u. Let's do one more. So here we've got kursi, which is a chair, and then we have tuffahatun, which is an apple, and then we have red, ahmaru. Yeah, so we say a red chair would be kursiyun ahmaru. Okay, a red chair. And we say a red apple, it will be tuffahatun hamra'u. Kursiyun ahmaru, tuffahatun hamra'u. Okay, Let's do one more. So we've got qamisun, which is shirt. We have qittatun or qitta, which is cat, and then aswad, which is black. So we say a black shirt will be qamisun aswadu. Qamisun aswadu. Then a black cat will be qittatun aswadu. Oh, sorry, sawda'u. Qittatun sawda'u. Okay, so that's the colors for you. So let's do some more practice with the colors. So the first one is a yellow car. So car is sayyaratun, and can you remember the color? The yellow is asfar. Okay, so it'll be sayyaratun safra'u, because the ends with the ta marbuta. So it's a feminine word. Sayyaratun safra'u. Next one, babun. Can you remember? Red was ahmar. So it's babun ahmaru. We have a red tomato, which is tomatim. So is this going to be ahmar or hamra? Okay, tomatim is actually a feminine word. So here it will be tomatimun hamra'u. Okay, do one more. So here we've got a yellow bus. So a bus is hafilatun, and the color for yellow was asfar. So we'll say hafilatun safra'u. Yeah, tomatimun hamra'u hafilatun safra'u. One more. So we've got a blue dress. So a dress is called fustan, and blue was azraq. Okay, so fustanun azraqu. Okay, if we say a green shirt, yeah, we'll say qamisun, which is shirt, and green was akhdar, so it's qamisun akhdaru. Fustanun azraqu and qamisun akhdaru. Okay, so that is the end of this lesson. In the next lesson, we're going to go through and look at the adjective noun phrases, rules 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so we'll cover a lot of content with lots of hands-on exercises. So as always, if you enjoyed the video, then please like, share and subscribe to our channel, and share with others that may find the content useful. So inshallah, see you in the next lesson. Fi amanillah. Assalamu alaikum.